Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do something that I've never done on this channel and that I've seen other people do it, and I've kind of like I really want to dip my feet into that one. So it is duping two palettes. Now this one's more of a newer release, and when I saw it on Instagram I thought it was the most beautiful palette I'd ever seen. I'm sorry, I already used it. It's not as pretty, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It is, I'm not really into pinks, but like all the other colors just spoke to me, other than like you just remove that, these other colors just totally spoke to me. Like, that's just a beautiful palette. I know I'm so plain Jane, but it did. It spoke to me. I needed this palette. So I went ahead and ordered it. I did get 20% off using a Sigma has like a new email subscriber coupon thing, and it gives you 25% off if you go to their website and sign up for emails. So that's what I did, or text messages. I think it's text messages. If you sign up for text messages, you'll get 25% off coupon link sent to your I think they send it to your email and they send it to your text messages. So I went ahead and did that, and I went ahead and picked this one up for like $36. And normally it's like $49 or something like that. So I was able to pick it up at what I thought was a deal. And then a few days after ordering it, I saw on Instagram that Phelps, I don't know if you guys know her, she used to be Beauty Addiction, and she does a lot of dupe comparisons on both Instagram and YouTube. So I'll link her down below if you guys want to reach out or watch her video. She's great. She's really sweet, and I love all the work that she does, because this is some work. But she pointed out that a really good dupe for that palette is this one by ColourPop. It's the Sweet Talk palette, and let me tell you, it is a very similar like color story for sure. They're different, but they're similar. I know without these colors, like these really deep rich pinks and purples, other than that it's not really the same, but like if you take those away, it is very much similar. If you just look at the color stories, the oranges, the peaches, the salmons, you know, the neutrals, everything about it, it's just a very similar palette. So today I decided to go ahead and test that theory today for you guys. Make sure you guys pause the video and let me know down below which eye you think I did. I did one eye for this and one eye for that. And so yeah, let me know what you guys think, how I did it. Because I'm wearing one on one eye and wearing the other on the other eye. I don't know, I think they look pretty similar. I think there's one that kind of shines brighter. But they're almost, just the colors are exactly the same. The only difference I think is just the shimmer on top. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump on it. I'm gonna show you guys how I got this look using these palettes, even though they're the same look. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to my video if you have not done so already. So let's go on ahead and jump right in. So we're gonna begin with the ColourPop one. Again, I have the same brushes for each of the palettes, and they're gonna be not cross-contaminated in any way. So let's just go ahead and jump on in. I do have this on my fluffier Morphe M330. I'm gonna go into this pale pink peach shade and kind of just set my eyeshadow primer. I did use the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. I'm just gonna lightly dust that over. Grabbing a different sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and go into this one by Sigma. Looks really, really similar. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick some of that up. That one definitely came up more on the eye brush. A lot more came up with that one, for sure. Okay, now it's gonna be so hard not to cross-contaminate though, just because I usually jump from one to the other. I'm gonna go back and get a little more of the ColourPop one, because I feel like I got more on that one, and just go over. Oops. See, I almost did that. Almost went to the other side. And then just do that to both, I guess, since I think these brushes are shedding. I normally don't like, I almost did it. It's gonna be really hard to do this video. It's really hard not to jump from one eye look to the other without crossing brushes. So it looks pretty even right now. That's a pale pink. It's kind of hard to do that one wrong. On that same brush, looking at the colors, I think for a transition shade, it would be this one and this one. And those shades, I do think Medallion and the Sigma one looks a little bit deeper, but we'll see. Actually, let's go ahead and do Apricot and then Work It. Work It is a little more mustardy, and Apricot is like a true apricot peach shade. But you know, we're just gonna play around and kind of get there. So, on that same brush that I used for the pale pink for ColourPop, I'm gonna go into Work It, and then I'm gonna work it in my crease. See what I did there? Go ahead, I dipped in once and it didn't really pick up as much pigment as I wanted it to. This is the third time I'm dipping into it to kind of build up the color, and there we go. Yeah, this one's definitely more mustardy than the Sigma. The Sigma doesn't have any other shade that's like that. It's definitely more mustardy in person. On camera it does look a little more peach, but in person it's mustard. Same brush for the other palette. I'm going to go into Sigma's Apricot. Oh yeah, and then one dip really picked up a lot more product. I think I dipped into the other one like 4 times to kind of get that payoff that I'm kind of getting with one dip of the Sigma one. Yeah, I'm going to get a little more Sigma, but this is only the second time I'm dipping in. And I'm not gonna try and pick up as much, like a full amount. I'm just doing a little bit more to kind of balance it out. So, oops. I just smoothed it out with the same one. Putting that one down. It's just out of habit now. I didn't add any additional product to that brush, so this is actually a really hard video to film. I don't know how people do this. Okay, now the next color, it does actually look a little more mustardy on the eye than it does peachy in the pan, so they match a lot better on the eyes. Like, I don't think you guys can tell a difference. It's pretty spot on. Again, that same brush, I'm gonna go in with, oh gosh, I don't know if I wanna go brown or pink. Let's go pink. Yes. So, I'm gonna go in with Hybrid, which looks like Meadow. So Meadow in this one, and then Hybrid in the Sigma one. Where is that? Here it is. So we're gonna try and do that one now. I don't know why I didn't just start with that one to begin with. That's my transition shade. Anyways, so yeah, just going a little bit lower now on that one so we can kind of see the gradient. That's pretty. That is so pretty. I'm dipping into it again just to build it up a little bit more. That's really pretty. Now I'm going to grab the same brush for the other eye. I'm going to dip into Meadow like I said. And then do the same thing. Ooh, Meadow is more pigmented in the ColourPop palette, which is crazy because Work It in the ColourPop palette was less pigmented than the one in the Sigma one. So with 2 dips, I'm getting the same amount of payoff, if not more, with the ColourPop one, which is nice. It's a really nice shade. So because the ColourPop one was so pigmented on the one dip, I'm gonna have to go back to the one with the Sigma one. Just pick up a little bit more and build it up so it's nice and even. I almost switched eyes again. Oh my gosh, that is so hard to do these videos. That is so difficult. To train your hand to not want to jump each side. Okay, now that is looking really pretty, really simple. I'm just trying to use as many colors as I can. So I've used 3 colors so far. Going down the line, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into this ICYMI color. I don't know what that means. It's a really, like, it's like a deeper peach shade, and I'm gonna kind of just go over my whole eye with that. Oh yeah. Just gonna go ahead. This is a Morphe E22, and I have the same brush for the other eye as well. Very pretty. And this one, it's gonna be the Sigma Summer Long down here. This one looks a little more warm toned than it is pink, but again, I grabbed the wrong brush for that one. The E22 too, I'm using the same, or E22. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the same brush, not the same brush that I used for the color pop, but the same corresponding brush. So we're using the same techniques and the same dense brushes. Hopefully get the same application. Okay, that looks super similar, if not exactly the same. Wow. Wow. So then I'm going to grab the old brush from this one and kind of blend out the colors. They're looking a little... I'm gonna soften it up. I didn't add any new eyeshadow to it. Just gonna soften up the edges. Okay, yeah, they look almost identical. Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab the smaller e.l.f. brush. I'm gonna go into this Bare Root color. It's the deepest brown in here. The deepest brown, and I'm gonna create sort of a halo eye. So I'm gonna create a little bit of deepness here, and then a little bit of deepness in the inner corner right here. So, okay, let's a little bit more. So nervous about doing deeper colors on my inner corner. Okay, here we go. That looks really, really pretty so far. I'm using the tiniest bit because I don't want to overpower the colors are already laid down. So I don't really care too much about this one, how many times I gotta dip in and out of it, because I just want to make sure I'm doing a little bit at a time to kind of get the color I want, or the deepness that I'm looking for. Okay, and I'm going to go back with the same big puffy eyeshadow brush, and then I'm going to blend out any harsh edges. And then I'm just going to do the same on the other eye with the similar same brush from e.l.f. The crease brush. And the only color that looks remotely like that one is Feel Free, but this one is more of like a rich wine color versus the Sigma one is a true brown. So this is the only shade that's similar to that deeper one. And I do want to like deepen my look, so that one I had to dip in twice because I couldn't get any payoff the first time. I didn't get anything off my brush. Alrighty, I feel like I'm having to dig into the ColourPop one just a little bit more, which is fine. I'm okay with that. get more pigment on my brush. Okay. Now the inner corner. I do believe the ColourPop one is also picking up more product, so there's more kick up in the palette from what I'm noticing. So for the shimmers, for the Sigma side, I'm gonna go into High Society and then top it with Belle of the Ball. So I'm gonna lay this one down first, and then this one on top is very pale pink shimmer. And then for the ColourPop one, very similar. I'm gonna go into Garden Date and then top it up with Side to Side. So these two, which are much closer together. For this step, I'm just gonna use my fingers and keep it real, as honest and real as I can. So Sigma side. Okay, where's my mirror? Okay. I'm gonna just put that on the center of my eye, just to kind of give it more of a metallic base. Honestly, I don't know if it's just not coming off or if I'm not pressing down hard enough. It's just not, okay. That's a little bit better, but honestly, it's okay. That shimmer one isn't really that shimmery. And then I'm gonna go in with Belle of the Ball, which I hear is super pretty, so I'm excited about this shade. Ooh. That alone is so beautiful, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. That is so gorgeous. Okay. I love that shade. I already really, really love that shade. Oh my goodness. Okay. The other side, I'm gonna go Garden Date on the ColourPop side. And then, ooh yeah, that's, okay, this metallic on the ColourPop side is so much better. This one is so much better than that shade High Society from the Sigma side. It's just so much more reflective. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but it's way more metallic. So now I'm gonna go into Side to Side from the ColourPop palette. Ooh. This one has a different texture and it's a lot softer, so kind of harder to control how much you pick up. Ooh, that's really, really pretty. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. They're both pretty actually. And then I'm gonna like do something I've never done before. I actually want to bring this up higher. I've been craving something weird like that. Just kind of feather that out a little bit up all the way. Just something new I've been doing and I've really liked doing it, so I continue to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side with the Sigma palette. I forgot to do that on this side. Oh my goodness, just gorgeous, just beautiful. Wow. So I think you guys can see a little difference on the camera, It looks like the ColourPop one is a little more reflective and in your face. I'm gonna try and see if I can build this one up so it matches. So I'm gonna go ahead and okay, it could also be a variation in the shades because the Sigma one is more of a cool toned and the one from ColourPop is a little bit warmer, so that could have a ton to do with it. This was more of a cool tone pink, this is more of a true like peach pink, so from what I'm seeing on application. I was just feathering off the edges so it doesn't look super harsh and like a line. Wow. think we have a dupe, guys. So, okay, let me just finish up my eyes, and I'll be back with my conclusion about this. So now that I've finished up, I can kind of give you guys my opinion and my conclusion on this. So I believe the mattes in the CORA-DE-ROSA palette by Sigma perform quite a bit better than the ones in the ColourPop. From what I used, I did use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the mattes out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. At 8 I used 5, and I believe that they all kind of performed really well and consistent, pigmented and easy to blend and easy to work with. Oh, I didn't use 9 mattes. The CORA-DE-ROSA shade is actually a matte, I believe, as well. So of the 9 ones, I only used 5, but the ones I used performed well and consistent. The shimmer that I used, High Society, was meh. It's one of the worst shimmers I've ever tried personally, but luckily there's not a lot of shimmers in here. It looks like the only other shimmer is Dark Night and Campfire. This one, Sunsprite, looks like a different type of glitter. It looks like a different formula than the other glitters. And then Battle of the Ball was also like a different type of glitter formula. So then these were not. Actually, I accidentally swatched this one, but the one I used was this one, and it didn't really perform. You guys saw in the video, it barely showed up when I put it on my eye. So, but I do love the mattes, and it is a mostly matte with some shimmers in here. So, I did really love that one for the mattes. That being said, the pigmentation and the mattes of this palette were a little more inconsistent. Work It was really hard to kind of get that pigment in. Feel Free was a little more difficult as well, but these were actually pretty nice and pigmented. No issues. I have used this palette before in the past. It is a little more sheer compared to other ColourPop palettes that I've tried. The pigments performed really well. You guys saw that on the eye. You can tell this eye is a little more glittery, shimmery, and brighter, and just more reflective overall. That could be the colors, that could be that this palette is more beautiful in the glitters and the pigments and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like the mattes in this one better, and then the the glitters in this one better. So, you know, you just have to really ask yourself, which one of these are you really going to use? Are you really going to buy this palette for, you know, the shimmers? I don't know, these glitters I don't use, you know, is it really worth your money? I don't know in that sense for you personally, but do I think this is a really good dupe for the Sigma CORA-DE-ROSA palette? My brush fell out. I think it is, unless you really, really want these, you know, these pink colors that this one does not have. I say go for it. This one's a really good dupe. You're getting the same looks out of this palette than you can this one, other than, you know, these pinky purples that this palette doesn't have, you know. But yeah, the looks you could get out of these palettes are almost identical, like really, really close, very, very similar. You know, if I go ask my boyfriend if he can tell that I'm wearing a different eyeshadow palette, I don't think he would be able to tell. Like, honestly, they're just, I mean, the glitters in this was really nice. But the mattes these were easy to work with too, just some of them built a little less than the others. You know, there was some matte formula inconsistencies, but none of them were bad. So, I mean, just keep that in mind. There were just a little more to work with, but I was still able to get the identical look. You know, if not, just this one looks just a little bit better just because of the glitter. It's absolutely gorgeous. But Honestly, I had never tried Sigma's formula, so that's why I wanted to pick this one up. I didn't know that this was a dupe for it until I saw Phelps video on the dupes, and then I decided to go ahead and make this video. But yeah, this is a really good dupe. If you have this one, I'd pass on this one. Honestly, it's just, you don't need it. Like, honestly, do you ever need makeup? But if you have this one, you really don't need this one. Just, if you have the Modern Renaissance palette, you already have those pinks and purples. So, just saying. It's my opinion. So that is it for today, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my video if you've not already, and let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. And I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I love you guys so much. Bye.